This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hi everybody, welcome to show 285 Aussie Mac Zone. Zarn, the birthday boy from last week, how are you, sir?
I'm absolutely fantastic, and I don't feel a day over 49. No, I'm joking.
Happy 22nd, that's what I say.
Thank you very much.
This week we are brought to you by IT Help to You and Aussie Tech Heads Domains. Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting and the domains. Now, our Aussie Apple ramblings, while we try and work out this Facebook information about who can see us and who can't, etc. So our heads will be going up and down a bit tonight. Now, the Apple Carnegie Library, an inside look at Apple's most ambitious store yet. Science, poetry, history. These three words set the tone as you pass through the doors of the Apple Carnegie Library, the latest in a careful collection of global flagship stores.
Is it Carnegie?
Yeah? Isn't that what I said?
Sort of. It made me think of Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
So I thought it must be...
It's the same guy.
Yep.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right, so it's Carnegie. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, the latest in a careful collection of global flagship stores. It's been over 116 years since each art was carved into marble and hung above the library's entrance. But the studies remain as relevant to Apple today as they were when the building was built. Apple Carnegie Library, because it's formerly a library, is far more than a store. It's the clearest expression of Apple's values. With the opening on the weekend, there was certainly cause for celebration. According to Tim Cook, the completed library is Apple's most historic, ambitious restoration by far in the world. Located at the nexus of Mount Vernon Square and surrounded on all sides by freshly landscaped parkland, DC's Beaux Arts Carnegie Library is a gleaming historic structure set amid modern commercial developments. But it wasn't always that way. Just 2 years ago, the library was a tired and underutilised, dulled by time and a succession of promising reuse projects that struggled to get off the ground. The last time the building served as a proper public library was in 1972. It was a far cry from the vision Andrew Carnegie outlined when he funded the building's construction. Now, did you chuck the picture up, Zarn? Because there is a picture for this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, my mistake.
That's okay.
For not saying it earlier. Now, the pictures in the story, that's just one picture in this whole story that is on... just let me get where it is. Sorry, everybody. 9 to 5 Mac. So, yeah, if you go and click on the page link in the show notes, and there's about 35 pictures. It's stunning from the grandeur of the building itself to the entrance hall to the staircases. They've got, when they're talking about
it's an absolutely stunning old building.
Yes, it's beautiful.
What they've done to it is fantastic. I actually really like this. I think they've really sort of captured the heritage of the building.
They have.
And still made this an absolutely fantastic, technologically advanced store. Right?
Yep. Yeah, all the tables are nice. The lighting is on the tables instead of trying to have super bright lights flaring down at you.
Yep.
There's gold leaf like it was when it was first set up in this engraved marble where they've got the words around inside up on the ceiling.
Yep.
The ceilings themselves are beautiful. There's even a history museum type part for people to have a look around upstairs. So it's not 100% Apple. It's owned by and they've done a great job, and there's other stuff besides just Apple stuff.
So where is Carnegie Library?
It's in Washington, D.C., isn't it?
That's what I thought. So it is in Washington, D.C.
I believe
when
so.
I couldn't remember. I read this last night, and I couldn't remember. So yeah, you're right. It is in Washington D.C.
Yep.
I think I understand now why they wanted to use Melbourne's
Federation
Square.
Yep.
And they wanted the old building.
Yep.
And after seeing what they've done here, because I was pretty opposed to them, doing the old building, and I thought, they're going to knock it down and make an absolute bloody eyesore.
No.
And then, but then seeing what they've done here, and if they would have done the same sort of thing, if that's what their plan was to do in Melbourne, then it would have actually looked really nice.
Yeah, and like they did it at Grand Central Station over there, where they've redone up part of the station and put an Apple store in there.
Well, even Central here. So it's Central here. We've got there's two huge auditorium-sized rooms. That aren't being used at all.
Yeah.
So they could do something like that there as well.
That's right, and that's just had a bit of a refurb. The food court downstairs.
Yep.
And because it got damaged in a fire 2 years ago, they've just done up the food court, and they've brought back the there's some carving of the artwork around in the food court.
Yep.
That's absolutely stunning.
At Central there, where Hungry Jack's was, is what you're talking about? Or are you talking about down as you walk into the station?
Upstairs in the station when you get off the country
link.
Yeah, and you walk out into that area there.
Yeah, so the Hungry Jack's was there and the Hungry Jack's burnt down.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's about 5 or 6 food places there now.
Yeah.
But there's some artwork there. If you while you're lined up for the food, look up and have a look around.
All right, I will. Next time we're there.
Stunning.
Excellent. Stunning.
Now, just while we're on the subject, and sorry to get a little bit political for a minute. I know it's hard at the moment with our elections going on here, but now a throwaway city of junk buildings, a leading architect slams New South Wales government over heritage. The Sydney Morning Herald reports Sydney is in danger of becoming a throwaway city of junk buildings, built on the cheap to be knocked down every 30 years, leading architect and City of Sydney councillor has warned. Philip Thallis also criticised the New South Wales government's sell-off of public buildings, which he said constituted a theft of public assets, and the deconstruction of heritage buildings and streetscapes caused by projects such as the Sydney Metro, West Connects and roadworks. Public Sydney risks becoming privatised Sydney, said Councillor Thallis, speaking at the National Trust Heritage Awards for 2019. We know that regardless of political persuasion, privatisation is deeply unpopular with the majority of citizens and constitutes a theft of public assets that would otherwise have been available to future generations.
Yeah.
And it's because then basically people aren't doing what Apple have done, for example, on their site.
So it's funny here because we haven't been in the country that long, compared to everywhere else. But they've still got the same sort of heritage properties. They're saying something from, the 1940s isn't heritage. It should be.
Yes.
Because we've only been here 220 something years.
Yeah.
And so something that is now 80 years old or so, it should be classed as heritage.
Yeah. Well, there's the show. One of the photos is of, I think it's I want to say the library, but it's like on Elizabeth Street and going down towards the quay, but just before it dips down. Where we saw that rollerblading last year.
Oh yeah, yep. Just
went there at Christmas time, and we saw rollerblading, skateboarding.
Yep.
Sort of just diagonally across the road from there, there's an old building.
Yep.
And that was one that, apparently they're looking at getting rid of that. But I'm pretty sure that's like a city library.
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and it looks immaculate, like it looks really good on the outside, and it just needs a tidy up and a bit of re-life put into it.
Yeah. They shouldn't be allowed to knock it down at all.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be allowed to sell it off.
That's right.
So, but sorry to get political. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I know a lot of the buildings aren't as old as, Italy or Britain.
Yeah.
Even America to a point.
But they'll never get to be that old.
That's right. If we keep doing this, they're never going to get to be that old either, and we're not going to have that heritage for people to see, like from my children's children and things like that.
Well, I was lucky enough. So I've been around for a while now. So I was lucky enough to go to when you used to be able to go on top of the. I was going to say, what's the insurance company? The AMP building when it opened.
Yep.
Down at the quay,
yep.
And it had an observation platform up there.
Yep.
I was there just after it opened. We went in as a family. There's something you did,
Yeah,
you went in there and did that. Because my father was involved with AWA, who had a lot to do with the inside of the Opera House. We got to go for a walk around there before it opened.
Oh, awesome.
I've got connections with trams in the city and connections on, family designing stuff on the Harbour Bridge. And so I've got a bit of history in the city.
Yeah, it's a rich heritage now.
And this is important stuff, I want people to be able to go and see this sort of stuff, it's just, I don't know about knocking these things down. Remember, pardon me, used to be able to go up on, Australia Square, and that was one of the restaurants I used to take all my first dates to.
That there was only one of.
But they had this awesome meal, right? Because you go up there and they had I think it was menu 35 or menu, and then I went to menu 39. I think it was like $35 a head. We're talking, a few years ago, 40 years ago, but. It wasn't $80 a head. That was, that was a 3-course meal for that price. You could order from this and from this and from this.
Yeah, awesome.
And it was great. And look at the view you had. Just,
They, I remember underneath Harbour Bridge, they found all that. The first from the first of the colonies, and that they found all the buildings that had been covered over. And they dug them up, and they're like, oh, and somehow some people snuck in and got photos of them. I'm not going to say who they were, but let's just say that I'm definitely related to them. And so they snuck in and got some photos in there, and it was amazing. It was a really cool thing, and I don't even know what they ended up doing with those. I think they just filled it back in and built over the top of it.
I honestly don't remember.
And but yeah, I thought it was amazing. It was absolutely amazingly preserved, even though it had been, covered with dirt and everything like that. They dug it up, cleaned it up, and it was good.
It was there.
It was there. We should be saving this to.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
We'll get off that tack because we've got a couple more off tack things tonight. Now. Mac's new music app won't be ported from iOS. Now, Coulter Mac reports the Mac's next generation music app will be based on iTunes, not ported over from iOS.
Why is that?
Some sources previously stated that the app would be made using Marzipan, this is the one, say you can be using iOS apps on your Mac, which we got like Apple News, and we got the Home app.
Yep.
There's a couple of apps that we got that came from the phone. So last year they released that at the Worldwide Developers Conference. Now, but new information reveals this won't be the case. Everyone expected it to just be we'll start getting the iPhone apps, iPad apps, and that'd be it. But it's not quite the case. Apple fans have been waiting for the day Apple splits up iTunes. The current version of the app is bloated and slow, and no one really wants all their media in one place anymore. But Apple's plans for standalone apps aren't quite what they were expecting. The new music app, expected to debut in the fall of with Mac 10.15 update, won't be ported from the iPad. The standalone music app on Mac OS will actually be an AppKit application based off iTunes, it reports, citing sources familiar with the development of the next Mac update. The app is expected to include a number of features iTunes users are familiar with, such as smart playlists, advanced library management, and support for syncing with iPods and iOS devices. Because I've still got iPods that I sync to and put my music on.
Yep.
They've got to let me keep doing that. It may even retain the ability to read and burn CDs and DVDs and even LPs, because remember you got USB.
Yeah, I've got one.
Record players now.
Yeah, I've got one.
Because people like the sound of it, right?
Yeah.
The sound that the record makes.
I've got a record player that I can plug into a computer and transfer records over straight on the digital.
That's right.
Yep.
Now, the new app is expected to be renamed Music, and it's thought that there will be a standalone apps for podcast, video, and more. It's possible that an older version of iTunes will be kept available for users who need extra features, the sources say. Now, I'm nearly there. Given that many users require iTunes to do more than just play music, it's perhaps not too surprising that its replacement will be more than just a music port from iPad. We just hope it will be smoother and snappier than its predecessor, because also I believe in backing up my phone to my computer.
Yes.
All right.
Agreed.
Yes, you can back up to iCloud, but it's not quite the same, and it uses up a lot of space that they obviously want you to pay for. But I've got control of it's up to me.
Yep.
I have control of my stuff, and I take responsibility for my stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, always do the encrypted backup.
Yep.
Remember the password, but yeah, back up the phones. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be a big year this year at Worldwide Developers Conference. There's a lot of things that we're expecting and coming up. So now another different story. Apple releases its second iOS game ever.
Yeah. So why? So the music app that we have on the phone and on the iPad is a great app. Like, it's brilliant. It works so well. Why would they not just bring that over?
Because it won't let you. The only way you can get music on there is to buy it.
Okay, and
that's the first challenge. Yeah.
Yep, that's fair enough. But
and you can't. If you didn't have iTunes, I couldn't put my music on there.
Yep.
So
okay, that's fair enough. So we'll get it. I'll talk to you this off air.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's what we're here for. So what about now? Apple releases its second iOS game ever, and it's a tribute to getting filthy rich. Now, this was done at one of Apple's biggest investors, which is Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway investment firm. Now, they recently pumped a bunch of money into cash-strapped Apple to say thanks for helping to keep the company afloat, if you can. Apple released its first iOS game since 2008. Now, a Paperboy ripoff called Warren Buffett's Paper Wizard that's supposed to pay tributes to Buffett's humble beginnings as a boy doing a paper route back when he was younger. Now, the game, which is available as a free download on the iTunes App Store, appears to have been delivered as part of a humorous video Apple created for Berkshire Hathaway's annual meeting held in Omaha, Nebraska, the past weekend. According to CNN, in the video, Buffett and Tim Cook are trying to come up with an idea for a new app, and the results are the game that plays somewhere between Atari Classic Paperboy and iOS's own Angry Birds, minus the replay value of both. Warren Buffett's Paper Wizard is actually only the second iOS game Apple has ever released, and although the company owns the copyright, it was apparently developed by another company called Wildlife Designs, which has no other releases in the iTunes App Store. It's a game that was seemingly developed as a punchline for an event attended by wealthy investors, and it feels the part. The timing is unfortunate because Apple has been a company that's traditionally shunned gaming in the past, but also a company that has a gaming subscription service en route with over 100 exclusives. So, yeah, it's interesting that they've used gaming as just to do a little, and it's got a lot of promotion.
Yep.
Been mentioned lots and lots and lots of places.
I'm going to do a review on it.
Excellent. And something else I found out about, a couple of things I found out about Warren Buffett today, listening to another podcast.
Yeah.
One is when he was younger, and this girl he was interested in, who liked another guy because this other guy played the ukulele. So Warren Buffett learned to play the ukulele. So there's a thing where
he likes to win.
Yeah, he played the ukulele with. There's apparently somewhere on YouTube. There's a video of Bill Gates singing and Warren Buffett playing the ukulele. That's one thing, and another one was he's a big he loves Coca-Cola, and he's a big investor in Coke.
Yeah.
And in China, there's a cherry flavored Coca-Cola that's got his picture on it.
Oh wow! There you go.
And he didn't ask for any. They asked if it was all right to put his picture on. He said yes. He didn't ask for any money. They haven't given him any money. He's an investor. He loves Coke, and so he's got his picture on one in China.
Excellent.
So, as a little incentive for people here, I have a prize for the first person to email us with the answer, and the first to tell us in the Facebook group the answer. What was the first iOS game that Apple released? We know what the second one is. What was the first Apple iOS game? You email me the answer at michael@aussiemaczone.com.au with the subject prize, and then and then write it down, or on Facebook, tell me the answer. Just in a comment on the page. If you can tell me the answer, what was the first iOS app Apple released? There we go.
Yeah.
And we'll work out, I've got things to give away, so we'll just give some away.
Yep, awesome.
So, and we'll come back to your review shortly.
Yep. But right now,
we are brought to you this week by IT Help to You. Don't forget. Small little Apple authorized technician. Apple certified technician. And
he's not small.
He's trying to be, he's just not getting there. ithelptoyou.com.au. Have a look at the webpage. Nothing dramatic, special about it. It's made to be looked at on a mobile device, your phone, an iPad, your or your Mac. Doesn't matter. So there are comments there from customers. So yeah,
family owned and run business.
That's right. Now, staying on subject, good news for Apple Arcade. People love their smartphone gaming. What do you think, Zarn? Do people love smartphone gaming?
I do. I know I do, and I'm a people.
That's right, you are. Well, we're a couple of people.
Okay.
Each. So, yeah. Anyone who... this is from iPad Insight. Anyone who follows Apple already knows that games have always dominate the top of the App Store charts. However, a new study for the Entertainment Software Association shows that smartphone gaming is no longer just for kids. Turns out the average gamer is older than you might expect and isn't always playing on a console. According to the ESA, that average age would be 34, which is definitely higher than I would have guessed. And it's even more surprising that 70% of gamers, pardon me, are over 18. Yes. The numbers speak for themselves. Kids keep on playing games as they grow older, and even more importantly, they are spending real money on them. $43 billion was spent on gaming last year, and most of it was for content rather than hardware.
That's what I was going to say. So is that 43 million
Billion.
billion? I apologise.
Yeah.
Is that mobile gaming or is that gaming complete?
That's gaming complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So here's the kicker: 60% of gamers are playing their games on smartphones, and you can bet that figure doesn't excite Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. The numbers and the money are moving toward the smaller screen experience. So what does this mean for Apple? While the reporter was excited to hear about Apple's new arcade service for gaming when it was announced, I wondered if it would make an impact on users. It sounds like something I would be interested in, but in a world cluttered with ad-supported free games and in-app purchases, I wondered if enough gamers would care to keep Apple interested in this endeavor.
I would. So the 60% of mobile gamers now, they're going to own consoles anyway. If you're that interested in gaming like I am, I play on my phone all the time. I have a console. Actually, I have more than one console at home.
Yeah. Lots of people do.
Yep, that's right. Because you want certain games for certain things and that sort of stuff. It's the same with your mobile device. There's certain games I can't get on. Hey, Lazy Gunner, how you doing? And so, yeah, that's how I feel about it. I've got my phone. I've got games on there that I can't get on my consoles, and so I use all devices to play games on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I think with the 60% there, I would say a good 55% would also be console gamers.
Yeah. So, while Apple paid plenty of lip service to gaming, they didn't really care very much about it. Well, it didn't seem to. Then Apple execs sat by and watched as the market for paid games was choked out. Let's face it, arcade was created to resolve a problem that Apple allowed to occur because they were too busy raking in money to notice. Unfortunately, many developers did and took their paid wares elsewhere. But where did they take them? I don't know where they took them, because if most of your market is on a phone, where do you take them?
And so, again, with the phone, if Apple are offering a service where you can play the games, they're releasing 100 games to them. Yeah. That is ad-free. Because I've got just silly little games on my phone that I play, like, flicking paper into a bin, and that sort of stuff. But they're so full of ads, and it's just, it gets overwhelming. Like, you want to play the game. I don't care about, like this. I don't play the slot things, and I don't care about a fitness app, and that sort of stuff. I just want to play the game.
Yeah. Well, there's basically only one game I play when I'm having trouble getting to sleep. I play solitaire.
Yep.
It's got ads always on the bottom. Yep. Not a problem.
Yeah, it's fine.
Then after I've actually won a game of solitaire, it brings up this big ad and then starts playing music in the middle, like loud in the middle of the night.
I know.
So, if we can get around that.
And the only way to get around that too now is to pay.
Yeah.
So,
which we, but so we'll see what happens to Apple.
Yep.
As long as they get the quality content.
Idea. Yeah, exactly. And what we've seen so far, is quality content.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I've read and what I've done and looked at, I honestly think it's quality content.
Excellent.
So,
all right. So continuing on some more with gaming.
Yep.
Our gaming section.
Oh, excellent. That's me. Hello.
With our little wizard.
Again, I wouldn't say little. So, what I'm reviewing today is what we talked about last week. So we were talking about the Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Yep.
And we talked about Warren Buffett and the Paper Wizard. So I downloaded Harry Potter. And I was really excited for it because Niantic did an amazing job with Pokemon. and I love that Pokemon Go. I absolutely love it. I play it all the time. I play it with my 4-year-old. We go hunting, we catch, we show each other what we're hatching. It's actually a really bonding experience.
Excellent.
Because we both, like, he's just Pokemon obsessed, and we watch Pokemon cartoons and everything like that. And so it's absolutely fun, and it's just a great game to play.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, Harry Potter is just Pokemon Go, but it's been repictured with Harry Potter. And it's not even Harry Potter, it's just a cloak, like someone in a cloak. You don't get to see anything. They just sort of float there and you catch things. But it's the same stops, it's the same gyms, it's the same everything as Pokemon. They really haven't done anything different except for change an image.
So you think if we were together and I was playing Pokemon,
Yep.
and you were playing Harry Potter,
Yep.
we're walking down the street together,
Yep.
and there would be, what are you catching? Pokemon, an egg.
Yep. No, so it's just a Pokemon. So say we see a Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like, you see a Pikachu, I would almost definitely get something at exactly the same spot.
Yeah.
And so when we go to the stops, so there's certain locations that have Poke stops, and you
Yeah.
got to spin them, and you get prizes, and they keep you going. So you need to get all this stuff to keep you going, to keep you breeding, to keep you entertained. All those spots, they're exactly the same for Harry Potter. They're the same stops.
Yeah, because they'd all be just grid references on a map.
That's right. They're all just satellite, imagery and laid in, and they really haven't thought it out. They're just trying to cash in on Pokemon Go.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I can't give this a good review. I was really hoping I could, because I love Harry Potter. I love the books, I love the movies.
Yeah.
I think it's a great character. I thought it was a great idea. Unfortunately, it's not. And so my review is 2 thumbs down. It's not imaginative. There's no creativity. There's no anything. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that's that.
That's a bit of a shame. Yeah.
It is. It is. Like I said, I was really looking forward to it. And so now I've got Warren Buffett's Paper Wizard.
Yeah.
Now, for nostalgia's sake, I just want to say I loved Paperboy as a kid. I played it on Atari. I played it on Nintendo. And I just thought the game was fantastic. This isn't exactly the same. They're saying saying a rip-off. It isn't. You are still throwing papers at houses and things like that, but you're not on a bicycle. You're not getting chased by a dog or anything like that. It's basically just an aim and shoot game sort of thing. And but on saying that, it's excellent. If that's it's simple. You get the fun and you get the the nostalgia of Paperboy.
Yeah.
And it's a simple game. It's fun to play. It's easy to play. It's got the nostalgia factor.
But you can play it for 5 minutes and turn it off and go away and do something else again.
That's right. You're not trying to level up. You're not trying to, get better. You're not trying to, get to the end. It's just something easy to play. Like Paperboy was, back then it was just something fun to play. You get the paper, you get chased or whatever. But this one hasn't got that. You're just trying to get distance.
Yeah.
So instead of being chased, you get to shoot longer distances in the buildings and in the windows and that sort of stuff. And so.
And did you start when you played this new one?
Yep.
Did you start? I think there's 2 sections. There's Omaha.
Okay.
And there's the city buildings.
Yeah. No, I started in Omaha.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I did Omaha, and then it turns into the city.
Yeah.
And and then I did trying to get into the city buildings, which is a lot harder because you got the levels and and then you got the buildings that are behind buildings that you've got to sort of curve in and get a good shot, and you got to be quick at it. And so that was a good fun game. And like I said, you don't have to get to the end of a level to finish or anything like that. You can just put it down and then come back to it later and keep going. And I enjoyed it. It was a great waste of time.
Good man.
Yeah,
That's good. It's good.
So that's That's it for my reviews this week. I just thought I'd review those two because we spoke about them last week, and I downloaded both the apps
Excellent.
and played them. So, hi Kellyanne, how are you? She's watching.
Excellent.
Probably
K.A.D.D.
probably Mason, Hunter, and Levi as well. Hello, boys.
So, well done.
Thank you. So yes, so they're the two games I reviewed. We'll have more games to review next week.
Excellent.
Back to you, Michael. Thanks. G'day,
Thank you.
James. Thanks for watching, mate.
Hello. Apple shares a new inside joke privacy-focused video highlighting iMessage encryption. Mac Rumors reports Apple shared a humorous new privacy-focused video. Have you seen this one yet?
No.
Okay. So, and on its YouTube channel, which we'll have a link to,
Yep.
designed to highlight the end-to-end encryption feature in the Messages app. Now, it's a minute-long video. A woman is at a nail salon getting a pedicure, and she's receiving iMessages. You
Yep.
can hear, the little noise that makes when you get a message,
Ding, ding, ding. Yep.
and she starts laughing, and ding, ding, and she's laughing, and she starts really cracking up over and over again.
Yep.
Now, the viewer is never given a look at what she's seeing that's so funny,
Yep.
which emphasizes the fact that the messages are private.
That's right.
Now, at the end of the video, there's just a tagline that says, iMessage encrypts your conversations because no one else needs to be in on the joke. So you don't see what she's doing, or she's just laughing her head off, right? You don't see her getting a pedicure or anything. She's just sitting in the chair, starts laughing, and laughs all the way through the video.
That's fantastic. James, if you want to watch their game review, you can rewind the live feed and watch it. Other than that, you can then, if you wanted tomorrow, you can go on and go in, and it'll be, we've been going for about 40 minutes now, and it was probably about 5 minutes ago. So if you go into around 32 minutes on the video, you'll be able to watch it then. And I will message you next week when I'm doing the review, so you can watch it live. Thanks for the message, mate.
Apple has shared several other privacy-focused video in recent months, including a Privacy Matters spot and a video that highlights limited app tracking in Safari. So there are links, of course, to the YouTube and to the story. Now, there's a picture for this one again.
Yes, there is.
Yep. Now,
there we go.
So there's new drone footage of Apple Park's been released. Now, 9 to 5 Max shows us throughout the construction of Apple Park, drone update videos became monthly occurrences. They offered beautiful overhead updates on Apple Park's construction progress. But as construction wrapped up, Apple started to crack down on drone videos, of course, because they don't want people getting anyway. However, Duncan Seinfeld is back with his first Apple Park drone update in 6 months. And he would have got permission, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, the latest Apple Park drone video offers a beautiful look at Apple Park in its fully completed glory. The video also showcases the nearby Steve Jobs Theatre and Apple Park's elaborate parking structure. Now, one interesting thing to note is that in today's drone video, there is some sort of mystery stage in the center of Apple Park's spaceship ring. It's unclear exactly what the rainbow-coloured stage is there for, but it's certainly set up to look like a concert stage.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's in Apple's original colours. Yes.
Yep, and I really like this building. Is that whole ring? Is that all Apple?
That's all Apple. Yeah.
And this is in Silicon Valley.
Yep.
Man, that is so cool.
So, and now it could be that Apple's preparing to hold one of its bash events at Apple Park sometime this summer, or judging by the condition of the grass around the stage, it could have already been held.
Yeah.
But and like a lot of work, just those coloured rings on the stage. Apparently, that's like a massive amount of work just in the design of those to make them like Johnny Ive perfect. He was involved. So now, just a reminder, the ring that ring you're looking at in the picture, that occupies 12,000 employees.
Wow.
All right. Apple's got 25,000 staff just in the Bay Area. Doesn't matter all over they've got staff all around the world. Yep. Just in the Bay Area, there's 25,000, half of which are in that one building.
Wow.
So again, there's a link to the YouTube video for the drone, which is amazing. Like the whole roof, you can see the whole roof is all solar panels.
Yeah.
And there's so many trees in the middle. It's stunning.
It almost looks like an orchard up the back here behind the stage.
Yeah.
And you can see the way the trees are spaced.
Yeah. Well, that's what,
Which would mean, sort of fruit trees. If they're spaced like that, all big trees. They're going to be a lot bigger than they are now. Hopefully it's orchard trees. Imagine if they're growing fruit and everything like that. Maybe they know something we don't. Is this an apocalypse safety measure, or?
The whole thing will take off, fruit and all. But remember, like in the early days, early days, Steve Jobs, they used to go walking through the orchards that were in Cupertino.
Oh, that would make sense.
So they put him, because it's nothing like getting out into nature just to get your head clear and let you think.
Yeah. And so if the staff there could, sort of step out of the building and go for a walk through an orchard, to sort of get their thinking on, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant.
What a great company.
Brilliant. Right. That's why I love them.
Yep.
I'm very biased. I accept that I'm very biased. But so don't forget, this week we are brought to you by Aussie Tech Edge Web Hosting, the domains section. So you just go and have a look. There's so many different domain names as we were talking last week, you can go, Michael.lawyer.
Yep.
Or, Zarn. Mechanic, and there's like 400 different domains that you can get now.
Yep.
400. It's amazing what you can get now. You can get an advertiser. You can get advertiser. You can get. I just can't tell you how many there are. I just want you to go and have a look. athwebhosting.com.au, and if you go in there and have a look at the domains and just see how many there are, it's unbelievable what you can get as a domain name there. So
I want to check it out too.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to sit here and tell you, because I want you to go and have a look and think, oh yeah, I could use that.
Yeah.
It's a different thing to give you suggestions, but there's so many there now, and I just think it's certainly worth going and have a look and a think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Aussie Tech Heads, athwebhosting.com.au, and look for the domains.
They also do our podcasting, and they take care of us. They're a great company.
Yes, they are. Now, I have another story which is not Apple News, Apple Tech related, but it is from Apple News. A significant day for aviation. Qantas launches a zero garbage flight. Now, the Sydney Morning Herald tells us, courtesy of Apple News, Qantas has trialled the world's first flight ever to produce no landfill waste as the airline embarks on a mission to cut out the use of 100 million plastic items. That's 100 million plastic items from its planes by next year.
That's excellent.
Andrew David, CEO of Qantas domestic arm, said the flight from Sydney to Adelaide on Wednesday represented a significant day for aviation. The airline currently produces the equivalent of 80 fully laden 707 jumbos per year in waste across its Qantas and Jetstar operations.
Wow.
80 plane loads. That's a lot more than a little truckload.
It is. That's phenomenally, wow, that's so much garbage.
Yeah, and it's just, that's us flying. Now, the cabin crews see this waste every day and they want it eliminated. Increasingly, our shareholders are demanding we do more to address our environmental footprint, Mr. David said. So Wednesday's flight to Adelaide, customers found meal containers made out of biodegradable packaging, made from sugar cane,
Excellent.
cutlery made from crop starch, and paper cups. Now, these products will be turned into compost and used in gardens and farms across the country. Any plastic bottles, such as bottles or any paper items, will be collected and recycled, Mr. David said. A flight on this route normally produces around 34 kilograms of waste, which contributes to 150 tonnes of waste annually. I know that wasn't a tech story, but it's important we acknowledge when companies do things to help the planet.
It is important, and that's amazing that just to take that first step.
Yep.
And that's all we have to do. Everybody, if we just took that first step, we would learn that it's easy to.
And this is a world first.
That's right.
And it's Qantas. So a big thanks to Qantas.
Absolutely. Which are no stranger to world firsts, mate.
That's right.
So well done, Qantas.
Yeah. Now, lastly, next Saturday night is very important. The 3rd Australian Podcast Awards are happening. So to all those in the running for an award, congratulations and good luck. And you thought I was going to get to talk about the federal election, didn't you? Not me. We did our bits. So yeah, good luck to everybody that's there.
Absolutely.
It is a night out. I don't know whether there's any tickets left. You could look up the 3rd Australian Podcast Awards, which are happening in Sydney on Saturday night. You might still be able to get tickets if you wanted to go. Now, don't forget, show notes link each week on our show upload, the link being aussiemaxzone.com.au. You go there and you can find all the show notes and some other stuff. There's at least 5 weeks worth of shows right there in front of you. Don't forget, Spotify, just search for Aussie Max Zone, and on Apple News, you just go to Aussie Max Zone and click on the heart to favourite us. Thanks to our sponsors, this week being Aussie Tech Heads Domains and IT Help to You. And most importantly, thank you and to all you supporters, our listeners.
Our watchers.
Our watchers, yes.
Our subscribers.
Yeah, you can go in. You can go to, I haven't even mentioned, you can go to YouTube, subscribe to that page. You subscribe to us on your normal one. Tell your friends about us. Please tell your friends.
We'd like to go to the awards.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you, and of course, it's over to you, Zarn.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. It's just great to do this podcast every week. So remember, an apple a day keeps the androids away. See you guys.